Hello and welcome to the Great Debate podcast, the first one.
Hopefully not the only one.
Out of many, a great many that will come down the pipes. We have with us Voidburger and me, Bob.
Yay.
And Casey Green.
Hello.
Of Gun Show and Horribleville fame, if you like them webcomics.
Yeah.
Pretty much if you've been on the internet and you've seen something cool, Casey Green has done it.
Probably.
Did Sword Van. I forgot you did Sword Van.
One of the many TF2 comics I did. Still don't play that game.
I'm really sad that no one's remade it in Source Filmmaker yet.
Yeah, where's my in-joke valve? Where's that? They'll do it for anything else.
All right, well, we're gathered here to discuss a certain film.
I would hesitate to call it a film, really. I don't know. They don't even really use film anymore to make movies, but I wouldn't really call it a movie either. Certainly a series of images with sound on it.
I heard you both saw it not too long ago.
Today!
Yeah, we both just downloaded a cam version of it.
Yeah.
We should say what it is, probably.
It's Silent Hill Revelation 3D, the movie.
But not in 3D for us.
Yeah, no.
That'd be great if you saw a cam in 3D.
That would be dedication.
It would just be blurry constantly.
Get two guys in the same movie theater, one on the left side of the room, one on the right side of the room, and you just get a 3D version of just the flat screen, but it's 3D.
So...
It was bad.
How did... Oh, okay. You're jumping the gun on that question.
It was bad.
Did you see it in theaters?
I saw it in theaters twice.
Twice?
Why?
Why?
And did you see it in 3D?
I saw it in 3D both times.
Why?
Because my significant other wanted to see it. And because I got back from the first screening, and it was bad, and I was laughing the entire time. So I walked out, and I didn't know that there was a bonus scene. So I tell the significant other about it, and she's like, that sounds horrible.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah, at the very, very end, after credits bonus scene.
Yeah, Twitter told me about it. It's not that great. You're not missing anything.
I don't think I actually did not finish my version of the movie because near the end we were dealing with some guys fixing our boiler because I live in New England and we still run on oil heat, and the fire alarm kept going off because of the smoke that the oil was burning up, and I was dealing with that, and the movie was still playing, and when I got back to it, I was like, what is this bullshit? I turned it off.
That is, like, hilarious that you had a boiler problem while watching the Silent Hill movie.
It was right after she got the hug of death from the other girl, and then she fell on the merry-go-round. I guess it was near the very ending fight scene. So I did not finish the movie. I already trashed the file. I was like, I'm done with this.
You missed some crazy bullcrap.
Oh, if only I could do that in the theater.
Just export it to trash.
I'm done with this.
That's all you see on the screen.
The guy who recorded my cam version, just as soon as the credits happened, he just got up and shut it off.
Well, he's got to go. Everyone's going to look at him.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man. It was great in theater. I'm really sad you guys didn't see it in theater because you could have had the experience of all of the people in the theater at the very beginning. And then toward the end, when the lights start coming on, you notice that everyone's gone.
Really?
There's 3 people there total.
No way. They left during the movie?
No joke. There were 20 people in the theater that I went to the first time that I saw it. And toward the end of the movie, 3 dudes were there. One rather large fellow behind me in the back.
That's because he couldn't move.
He might have been stuck.
To be honest, from an average moviegoer point of view, this movie is confusing as shit, and it's billed as a scary actiony horror. And from what I saw, they didn't have that horror scary actiony part that often. It seemed to mostly be a lot of plot talk.
I mean, they tried constantly to be scary, but because they're trying constantly, it's like they didn't understand the tension that's involved in a scary movie. It was just constant scary images that aren't scary because you're desensitized to scary images by 5 minutes into the movie because they're throwing clowns and shit at you constantly.
Yeah, and if I didn't know shit about Silent Hill or didn't care or whatever, I probably would have just left also.
Yeah. That shit made no sense.
I mean, as the movie was going on, we got to the point where in the theater, there, what's his name? Vincent did the reveal with, he pulled up his shirt and showed his sweet tat.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I laughed hard.
And yeah, a lot of people laughed in the theater, but then...
I'm so tortured about it. Look at my sweet tat!
I looked down in the front row and there was this couple of elderly women
What?
who were just like sort of looking at each other and going like, "What the hell is going on?"
They didn't know what they walked into.
They thought it was Game of Thrones.
That's strange. I wanted to see it in theaters, but the week I was going to see it, Hurricane Sandy happened, and my theater got ruined, so I couldn't see it.
Ooh.
And then the second time I tried to watch it, it was December 14th, and that was also a national calamity, and I decided I was too bummed out to watch the movie that day, all things considered. So I was kind of scared trying to watch it a third time, and I gave everybody fair warning that if something happens, I'm sorry, because the movie and I are cursed, and I'm not supposed to watch it.
And I jumped on it just because I wanted to watch it as well.
You like undid the curse or something.
I hope. Well, maybe we had some weird problems with our boiler and the fire thing, but probably not as bad as the rest of that shit.
Oh God. So, yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start about
Maybe
how bad that
we
was.
should start with what we liked about it, because that might be such a smaller,
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
a quicker thing to go through than everything else.
It had color.
I liked that Jon Snow and his dad, Ned Stark, were in the same movie together. Because I think that's funny, and I like Game of Thrones.
Okay, I was wondering where that was from.
Also, Kit Harington, just like in Game of Thrones, never shuts his mouth. It's always open, just a little tiny bit. He's
Now,
just a mouth
who's
breather.
Kit Harington? Was he Vincent?
Yeah, he's Vincent. He just never closes his mouth. He does it in Game of Thrones too. It's like his default sexy face. Like he's just always like mouth breathing, and it's so sexy. And that's all he does to act. He just has his mouth hanging open all the time. Also, I liked all the funny accents, even though I'm sure they weren't supposed to be in the movie. Sean Bean versus his accent, part 2. The best part of the movie for me. Also, Kit Harington brought an entire new dimension to fighting your accent because he had no idea how to sound American. But the girl, Adelaide Clemens, who played Heather, she did a pretty good job because she's Australian, isn't she?
I'm
Yes.
fairly certain that she is.
Yes, she is.
I think she's Australian.
She is. I just looked it up.
Yeah, good.
And I agree. She did a pretty good job. I mean, considering what she was doing the entire time was just looking scared and being scared and yelling and screaming.
She wasn't very offensive. She did all right.
She did all right.
Mm-hmm.
Casey?
I can't think of anything I outright liked about the movie.
I like the spider mannequin thing.
That was kind of neat, I
That
suppose.
was kind of. I didn't like everything else about it, like how that woman's titties turned to plastic, and that was unnecessary and stupid. And I didn't like how it tore off the head and then held it up for the audience to behold it in 3D, and then it screamed at the audience. And
Yeah, that's one of the things you guys really missed out on. The sheer amount of things flying at your face constantly through this movie in 3D.
I saw that in at Comic-Con because I went to New York City Comic-Con. They had like a preview panel, and I went to the panel, and Adelaide Clemens was there, and Kit Harington was there, and Samuel Hadida, and the guy who directed the... I don't know if Samuel Hadida is the producer, the director, I don't remember.
Producer.
Yeah. Yeah, and they gave us all 3D glasses, and they showed us that one scene after the part where she finds that one bit actor girl in the spiderweb bullshit, and it ended like just as they were like getting chased by it. So I didn't get to see the plastic titty part or any of that stupid shit.
They probably couldn't show that at New York Comic Con.
Probably not, but it was still really. It showed the part where they held the head and it screamed, and I was just like, "Oh, that's stupid. That's so stupid."
Does that beat Douglas's fingers flying at the screen?
No. That was funnier.
I feel like Douglas's fingers didn't last quite long enough for you to like, because like it happened really quickly, and I barely realized that would have been really funny in 3D. But like the head thing, I realized would be funny in any dimension. Like the head screaming was so cliche and stupid.
It's so fun to watch 3D movies without them being in 3D because you see all the dumb little things they do.
Yeah.
Like to make it interesting.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching Friday the 13th Part 3, which was 3D. And and it was straight in 2D, but they did all these stupid things in 3D that were like supposed to be wowing you. Like someone accidentally had a pole up close to the camera, like showing to the audience and shit.
That's so blatant.
So it's interesting. It's just funny to see that
Yeah, they did a lot of that in this movie. There's always stuff coming at the camera.
Yeah, and you guys probably didn't notice at the beginning with the what was that? The ash falling down? That was all in 3D, and that was the only time that each piece of ash was individually rendered, so that it was falling down in different. Some were closer to you, some were further away. It was actually kind of neat.
Oh.
And if I was to say that, there was one part of the film I liked, it was, probably that. But it never comes up again. They never do that again.
I'm sure for like settings and stuff, when things seem farther away or closer to you, and when it's not just outright trying to like, a pull at the camera type thing, it probably seems kind of neat and interesting and nice looking in the 3D sense, but like it's just sort of lost on us on the stupid cam version. And everything else they do for show, like the fingers coming off or the sword coming at you or whatever.
Also, I could barely see some of the stuff. Like, a lot of the monsters I couldn't see very well because of the cam was so bad.
That's not the movie's fault. That's the cam's fault.
That's the cam's fault. But sometimes I couldn't tell if there was shaky cam in the movie or if it was the cam that was shaky cam.
I was about to say mine was pretty well done, but it got blurry for like a whole 5 minutes at one point. Like, they just didn't adjust it. But that's dumb to get mad about, so anyway.
Because they were falling asleep because they were so confused. They just gave up and went to sleep.
I have two things I want to ask real quick. Since I missed the ending part and a lot of the stuff near the end, did they do the mirror scene?
No, they
didn't. Or did
didn't.
they skipped that. And did Harry survive or did he die?
He went and set up Silent Hill 2, and I'm sad. Cause
what do you mean?
The Claudia monster fights Pyramid Head, and everybody's just like, wow, that's cool, and they're watching all gape-jawed. And then, big surprise, Pyramid Head wins because he's got a big-ass knife. And then it just cuts to them walking away in the streets of Silent Hill. It's like, how did they leave? What the hell? So they're walking away from Silent Hill, and they're just like, well, I guess that means that's the end of the cult, or whatever. They're, like, saying this inane shit and trying to, like, tie it up. Be like, no, I guess that means it's all done with and over, or some stupid shit. And it's like, no, as long as something exists, they'll still be around, or the other world, or I don't know, something stupid. I was like brain dead by this point. But and then Harry / Chris / Boromir / Ned Stark was like, no, I can't go. I need to stay here, and in Silent Hill. And he decides to just friggin' stay there for, like, the only reason is, like, I need to go find Rose. I told her I'd protect you, but now you're safe, and I can go find her here. And she was just like, okay, love you, Dad, bye. And he was like, Vincent, you take care of my girl. And then he's just like, all right, Dad, not Dad.
Which is completely ridiculous on multiple levels.
He doesn't even know this kid. He's just like, yeah, take care of my kid. Fuck off.
Yeah, you guys have known each other for a day. Why don't you...
Guy that was raised in the cult. Please take care of my girl.
I see what you mean. He's still alive. He doesn't die at the beginning. They kill off Douglas, though, for just no good reason, because they don't need him.
Mm-hmm. Right. He served his purpose, and
they needed a death. It was a horror movie, so they needed someone to die.
And then Vincent took his place sort of as the carekeeper and newfound love guy. And no doubt if they want to do a third one, it's definitely going to be a Silent Hill 2 thing.
Yeah, and so Harry Heather and Vincent walk out. Harry walks in. He just kind of stands there in the street, and then it does this like beam me up Scotty thing, but it's just fog. Mm-hmm. Like he just kind of becomes with the fog, and then the fog goes away, and Sean Bean is gone. And then it totally sets up Silent Hill 2 because he's going to look for his wife in Silent Hill now.
But it doesn't make any sense because at the beginning of the movie, the what was it called? The Seal of Metatron?
Yeah.
They set that up as though, that can bring people back. That's what brought Sharon back.
Yeah.
Right?
How?
I don't know.
Right. Well, how? But at the same time, it's like that's what it can do. But Heather has with only half the thing, they were able to bring Sharon into the real world. They have the whole thing at the end of the movie. Heather has it.
Oh.
And then Harry doesn't even think, like, hey, I need that in order to get... I forget everyone's name.
But that's like that doesn't even have to do with like getting it wrong with the games or anything. That's just like its own thing that it made up.
Yeah.
Right.
And it couldn't keep its own thing straight. Like it might as well have been like, some other seal of so and so.
It's just completely ridiculous on that front. But also if you didn't watch the end of the movie, not only is Silent Hill 2 set up,
all of them are set up.
But literally every game is set up in this movie.
Except Homecoming.
Oh yeah, with
Shattered
Travis.
Memories.
Yeah, Travis, and he literally says like, my name's Travis.
Hi, I'm Travis Grady.
So Heather and Vincent get away. The truck pulls up, and they get a ride from Travis Grady, who was truck driver in Origins.
Mm-hmm. And then as he leaves, the prison bus from Downpour goes right into Silent Hill. And I went, what?
It was just like a barrage of fan service.
I honestly expected them to be like, oh shit, we just ran over a dog. Oh no, it's a Shiba Inu. Oh, it has a little headset on. That's cute. Oh.
Actually, I think this ending was pretty much more bonkers than the dog ending. Pyramid Head fighting whatever the hell that thing was.
Yeah, that Cenobite lady. Claudia.
I sure did miss something there, I guess. The whole fight at the end.
No, you actually didn't miss anything.
All right, then, good.
It
was just that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean,
oh, man.
Just the initial shock of it being like, oh my god, is Pyramid Head gonna fight? Oh my god, they're fighting. This is retarded. And then that was pretty much it. It didn't seem like a fair fight. The whole church turned into an arena, like from like Street Fighter style. Like, just looked blatantly like an arena and nothing else. Like the church built an arena just for a fight like this. With fire around it and everything.
Completely bonkers.
Another thing that was weird is that they made everyone related to everybody. Like, Claudia is now Christabella's sister, and she's also the mom of Vincent, and Claudia is the daughter of Lennon. Well, that's canon. Claudia is the daughter of Lennon, but now she's Vincent's mom, and Christabella's his aunt, and Dahlia is just around here for no reason, and what?
So I guess the next we should go into is things we didn't like about the movie, or things that they... I guess that would go hand in hand with things they changed from the game that kind of makes no sense, or doesn't really need to be changed, or... I don't know, maybe in the plot of the movie, the thread of the movie, maybe it does, I guess.
Yeah, before we get into that, though, we should probably say that, it's its own movie. This movie has to be related to the first movie in some way. Otherwise, it'll make no sense.
Yeah, it's a direct sequel.
Right, so the first movie doesn't really, have anything to do with Silent Hill 1. It's just got a few characters that are the same, really.
It's like the bare... it's like a weird... It's got the bare bones plot, but then it messed up all, the morals and the details and the fine print and... all these other wacky things.
And then they try to make the Revelation to be like Silent Hill 3, like a direct copy of the game.
Well, it was weird because you can tell that they were trying really hard to get all the levels in there except the subway level and maybe 2 other places. But all the levels went chronologically into each other, and I realized how bonkers that is to see in a movie. Because she went to the carousel and it went underground, and then it stopped at the church, and then she just enters into a church. That's crazy. Why is there a church under an amusement park? When you think about it, it's a person just watching this wouldn't that makes no sense to just an average person watching a movie. But when you're playing a video game, you're like, oh yeah, sure, it's the other world, it's wacky, it's kooky, it's crazy. But I don't know, it was just why are we in all these places all the time? Why does everything connect to a totally different place all the time? What is happening?
Oh, I just thought of something. So Pyramid Head kills Claudia.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, Pyramid Head is the, not defender, a guard for Alessa. A guardian for Alessa. So, did he at any point, try and harm Heather?
No.
Does he work for Heather?
No, he works for Heather, kinda, yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially in that, well, actually, I don't know, because there was that one scene with him on the carousel.
He wasn't really doing anything there. He was just...
Yeah, he wasn't helping her. It was just Heather versus Dark Alessa, I guess.
You would have thought he would have helped her then. Well, maybe he was confused because he was Alessa and Heather right there.
Maybe he was just helping that Alessa. But didn't he also show up when all those prisoners were trying to attack her?
Yeah,
and then he just
chopped them all out there.
But did he try to attack Heather, or was he just chopping off all the arms of people?
He was chopping off the arms because Heather specifically said, help me,
see.
Really loud. Because they had to telegraph.
Well, that's a little interesting, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting take on the Pyramid Head role.
That he's just a guardian for this girl.
He kind of like combined Pyramid Head
Right.
with Valtiel and then ditched Valtiel altogether.
Yeah.
Well, that's because Pyramid Head is just such more iconic in the games.
Yeah. Also, they dropped the whole pregnancy plot, so it's not like he's protecting God Fetus or anything. So, but they mentioned it, and I was like, oh no, don't go there. We're not vomiting up any fetuses in this finale, are we? You can't do that.
Oh, I wanted that so bad. I wanted 3D fetuses coming out of people's mouths. But there was Valtiel in the game, in the movie.
Yeah, that statue thing. That was really out of place, by the way.
Oh, that's what that was?
That looked like something that's at a queue at a theme park like ride, like at Universal Studios or something.
I couldn't tell if that was a thing that was just staying still or an actual statue that they had in their church or whatever.
It makes sense that it's a statue in their church because they've said out loud, Heather said to the audience, like, it's the cult of Valtiel or Valtiel, according to Douglas. Valtiel.
There was Valtiel, there was Valtiel, and then there was
like
another version of it.
So it makes sense that they would have their a graven image of their godlike thing in their church, but it looked like it was made of plastic. Clearly, like it should have been made of marble or something more iconic. You know, that should be in a church or something. I don't know. It's not a plaster cast thing from Universal Studios.
So what was the thing at the very end after the credits?
Oh, that was it was just Pyramid Head walking.
Seriously?
It's literally just it's literally just Pyramid Head walking away from the fight with Claudia, and he's just like walking out the way that he came in.
It doesn't even mention that on the little Wikipedia thing.
Probably because it
just
doesn't
says
matter.
Ash begins to fall. Yeah, it seriously doesn't.
As if we thought he was dead, or like if it showed like. If it was like a stalemate and he chopped off her head, but he collapsed the last moment, and we were like, oh no, Pyramid Head, the only character I cared about in this movie, then it would be like, oh snap, he's alive at the end. But he was clearly alive. He was fine at the end. So I don't know why it was worth it to show 0.9 seconds of him walking away from something that he won and was fine.
I guess you could have inferred that maybe he got like more damage than he could take in that fight, because he did get cut up a little bit, but it wasn't to any vital organs.
He was fine.
And he's a freaking monster. I mean, even if there was damage to his vital organs, I could have just, not have figured out some reason to get him to, get better. Mark of Samael, whatever, fuck.
Metatron, Seal of Metatron, whatever.
Seal of Megatron.
Like, what the hell? Why did that turn her into a monster? Why did that happen?
Dude.
Why
is she able to teleport?
Teleported?
Like, yeah, she teleported in order to get Vincent in the hotel. Remember, she took Vincent. She created like the other world, and then she went and grabbed Vincent out of it, and then it went back to the real world.
Oh, that was her. I didn't. The cam was bad.
Yep.
It was actually Trinity from the Matrix with the wig on grabbing him, or was it the Cenobite version of her?
It was the Cenobite. Yeah, and that's implied. The same thing that happens to Douglas is that's Claudia as well. So how did she get there? Why is she able to go there? Like,
well, she's a monster in the other world, but don't they just all live in the other world? So can she just turn that on and off? Or
I guess.
I like that Vincent was born and raised in the other world. That is so fucked up. Can you imagine what a person would be like?
He's just used to those nurses who just chop up those guys and whatever.
In the lady zoo that they had.
Lady zoo.
What the hell?
Especially considering, like, in the first movie, like, there were like a grand total of 35 cult members,
and they were all like normal-ish people that didn't like.
They're just raggedy clothes.
They're just yeah. They're just like hobo people, but they didn't like have children and raise them in the other world. They could still they were trapped in the church, but it was still normal-ish. But how many years have passed since I'm confused. How many years have passed since the first movie?
Well,
it's her 18th birthday, but what age did Sharon come back at?
Well, Sharon was like, what was she, 8? I think at 8 or 10.
Something like that.
I read a thing that said it was supposed to be like 6 years, maybe. So maybe she was 12.
So that's not long enough to have a kid and raise them in the other world. I don't know.
Maybe he was there the whole time.
Unless there's already people getting busy 30 years ago in the other world. That's got to be hard to do.
Yeah, I've got a whole doc just full of questions for this movie.
Yeah, so do I just have questions going back through like this Wikipedia of the plot, just things I remember. Like, since they're living unassumed identities in this movie, you know, they change their names to Harry and Heather Mason. What did Harry tell Heather that they were hiding from? Did he tell her all about Silent Hill, the cults and shit like that?
It was the he killed a guy in self-defense, right?
Right.
But he was,
and that actually happened.
That
right?
did happen, yeah.
Yeah.
It happened in the game too. That was a backstory thing.
Yep.
I don't know where that got revealed. Might have been an additional thingy. What's it? But it was a cult member. Also in the game, it was a cult member too that Harry killed in self-defense. But I guess he told Heather like because he killed someone in self-defense, like they had to go undercover. Maybe they weren't being helped by the police, like in this movie. And he was just like, I murdered a guy. Come on, sweetie. Let's go on the lam and get new names and stuff. Because they were in an actual witness protection program, if I'm not mistaken, in the games. But
right, it's implied that they could be. I don't think it's ever expressly stated. But yeah, that's one of my questions on this doc full of 37 questions for this movie.
Oh my god.
It was something like, they didn't get the police involved, but it would make total sense if they did. I mean, if you killed a guy because he's in your house, it's not like you're gonna say, oh, I killed him because I'm a total jerk and the police are gonna arrest me because I kept him in there. And like, it just doesn't make sense to not go to the police and say, hey, cult people are coming after me, they're in my house, here's one of them. You look at the giant cult symbol on his stomach. Can someone help me out? Can I get a patrol car?
What if the cult is also in the cops?
Couldn't trust the popo.
Cult people in the cops, because I don't know. Maybe Harry didn't know the extent of how trapped they were in Silent Hill or whatever. But they're able to leave if they get a sweet tattoo. But they can't leave unless they get a sweet tattoo. But
just
I
love
don't
the
know.
Concept of being able to do all this stuff just because you have a sweet tattoo.
I don't understand.
What are the other questions in your doc? We should go through those.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's it's any good place to just keep going with.
All right, dude. Number 1, why was the beginning of this movie Inception?
They woke up, and then she woke up, and then she woke up.
It was just like...
Oh, because she had a bunch of nightmares.
Because they had to do the nightmare scare, and then the oh wait, you're still dreaming scare, because it's the most cliche, formulaic way to do a scare when you're establishing the beginnings of some shitty cliche characters.
Just to establish that her mind is not right, because she seems to be the only one who can see all those weird flickers in and out into the other world, like at school and shit like that.
She was not acting freaked out enough about that. Like, I would have gone home from school if that happened. She was like, no, we have class.
Maybe she's used to it.
Oh my god. I don't know if she was.
What's the next question?
Insane.
Why was it that at the end of the first Silent Hill movie, Sharon was possessed by Dark Alessa, but in this movie, Sharon's just normal Sharon?
Maybe when she got brought back, that, like, cleansed her. I'm making this up. I don't know.
Does this have anything to do with the half of the Metatron that the Rose found?
Maybe that's like an exorcistic doodad.
It's possible, but it's never explained. It's just like, oh, hey, at the end of...
Yeah, we're Prometheusing this hard, trying to figure out what the movie decided not to figure out and tell us.
Yeah, this is all just speculation.
Especially considering, like, that was a pretty big plot point at the end of the first movie.
Yeah.
I mean, they spent considerable screen time showing us that this was not, Alessa or Sharon, normal Sharon. This was dark Alessa in Sharon, who looks like Sharon. Because they had the scene where she fell asleep and she turned on the car with, like, the power of her eyes.
Or something.
And then she's acting all creepy and shit.
Was that in the end of the first movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember the car part, but I remember her being very quiet and weird and creepy.
Catatonic
Like,
looking.
she was not the same. But I get that's just. I'm pretty sure a lot of the answers to these questions probably they'd never explained it.
Mhm.
Right. It's just like plot shit.
Yeah.
So the next one. Why did Rose say "my love" so many damn times?
Because no one knows how to write ghosts.
Good to remember that she was his wife, and to make sure that everyone knew that.
I guess so. It's probably the
I don't
best
know.
explanation for that. My
Silly
love.
writing.
My love. She never talked like that in the first movie. She was like, whenever she was on the phone with Chris, she was like, yeah, all right, I gotta go. Fuck off, Chris. They were having like all these like marital-ish problems during that, so I don't know why she's all like remorseful about it now, being a ghost and all.
All right, number 4. Why did the teacher in Heather's class let all the students mock Heather? Was she just bad, uncaring teacher or something?
I guess so. She was also the only person of color in the entire movie.
Right.
I thought there was a black student.
Oh, there was a black student. Single black student. There was also an Asian student
Yeah.
who doesn't shop at Goodwill, I'll have you know.
Well, she's probably just a teacher who's used to this kind of behavior and just shitty, I guess. I mean, that's that, really. That's the sad answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used this kind of behavior from 30-year-olds playing 18-year-olds in a movie.
Next question.
Number 5. The Order was pretty much killed by Alessa in the first movie. Where did these New Order people come from, and why are there so many of them?
They were hiding in a different church.
Were they hiding in that underground church underneath the carnival?
That explains everything.
There are
My
two
God.
churches.
Oh my God.
Imagine trying to go to church and you had to ride that carousel down every fucking time. It's Sunday. Get on the carousel.
Not to mention, you got to get someone to get some hooks in their nipples in order to, manipulate the
That's
thing.
the only way it works. Trust me, bro. No, hook these in. They're like jumper cables for the carousel.
How did Sean Bean find out so much stuff about the Order, like that Red Pyramid was Alessa's protector?
That is a really good question. How
That
the
is a good
fuck did he
question.
find that out? Maybe he just gleaned it all from Sharon Heather's doodles and shit when she was having her little trips.
Yeah, he never actually made a trip into the other world, did he?
Nope.
It was all Rose in the first movie. He was just wondering where everybody was.
He might have been in it in this movie because he got all kidnapped and all that shit. So he's probably in the other world for this movie, but that was after the fact. So I don't know where he got this shit
He
from.
already has all these notes and shit. So either he stole them from someone.
He also
maybe he
had the
took 'em
cool,
from the-
He had the cool symbol on the thing too. He like
Maybe he
studied that
took 'em
guy's
from
tattoo
whatever-
and then made a
yeah.
sweet box with the sweet tattoo on it and put all his like little cult
Mhm.
memories in there.
He's very organized.
Maybe he stole it from the member that he killed.
He brought a giant dossier filled with important shit about monsters and the cult history.
This is all speculation. This is not ever answered in the movie.
I have no idea how he
it
got
might
that
be because if you take the first movie as an example, he probably used Google.
stuff. Oh, that's what he did. He Googled Silent Hill.
And found a book in an old library somewhere.
Silent Hill has a pretty badass website, by the way.
That's all like, GeoCities style, 1998, animated GIFs up on that thing.
When Heather opens up to Vincent on the bus about how she's seeing weird stuff, why does he tell her that about his admitted grandpa? Isn't that doing the exact opposite of comforting Heather by saying, you are batshit crazy and you belong in a mental hospital?
He's not good with the ladies, that's the explanation.
What was that other thing that he said? He was like trying to hit on her or say something really charming or something, and it just...
I don't know, but he also said, he also called her fucked up. Like, you're fucked up, but I like you or something.
I really tuned out to a lot of scenes with him.
Yeah, me too. I don't remember. Yeah. I was mostly listening to his accent and how it was really, he was stumbling over trying to sound American. That was way more entertaining than anything in the movie to me. Gotta make your own fun.
Yeah, I tuned out. I don't have a good answer other than just bad writing.
Or bad with ladies.
Bad with ladies, bad writing.
I have a sneaking suspicion that that's the answer to all of these questions.
Maybe he's bad with ladies, and then Heather's also bad lady. He's just dumb also. And it worked on her.
Multiple layers of dumb.
Yeah. Dumb working on dumb.
Kind of sums up the whole movie, though.
Dumb 3D. That's actually... It's actually every layer of 3Ds, every dimension is just dumb.
Height is dumb, width is dumb, depth is dumb.
Oh, that's what it means. Yeah. I'm glad we figured this out.
Dumb to the power of 3. Number 9. Why does everyone wear so many layers of coats?
It's cold. It's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's super cold. You ever been in West Virginia? I haven't.
They said, hey, welcome back from Christmas break. And I was like, oh, it's winter. Okay. That was a dumb way to establish that it's winter, but okay.
I was mainly going with that one. I was just going with that Harry. They had to shoehorn in Heather's, jacket. They had to keep her in that jacket.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't just have her in the jacket. It was like, here's from me.
Oh, Dad, you shouldn't have. Why did she act so weird when she got it?
I don't know.
That was ugly.
That wasn't
dirty.
explained. Like, why was she like had an issue with it? But then she's like, no, I love it, Dad. It's great. Thank you.
I thought maybe it was because that she foresaw in her dream within a dream that she was wearing that.
Oh, she was wearing it in her dream? I didn't even
I
notice.
thought so.
I did not even notice that bullshit.
Well,
Everything
there you go.
Everything was flashing and jittering and jarring and flickering, and how am I supposed to notice what she's wearing? Oh, you changed your hair. That's nice.
All them rabbits.
Rabbits. Robbie rabbits. I'm surprised they didn't shoehorn in a guy in the costume giggling high-pitched with a shotgun. Like in the arcade.
Well, they did have him. They did have that rabbit plenty everywhere else, though.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
That's true.
Number 10. When Heather came out of the mall as the ambulance was taking away Douglas's body, why didn't the cops ask her any questions? Wasn't it highly suspicious that she was still in the mall when it was evacuated and declared a crime scene?
They're not very good cops.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering how much time passed when she was in the other world and
Yeah, it seemed like they came on the scene real quick.
Yeah. Maybe he had a life alert that went off when he died. You're like, shit!
Yeah, where was his body found?
Shut them all down. It was probably found in an elevator shaft or something.
And then someone was like, shit.
Without fingers and stuff. Did his finger... They showed his arm hanging out of the gurney, but I don't know if it was the arm that got the fingers chopped off.
I want to say it was his left arm.
That got
his right arm got chopped off. Or his right arm had the fingers chopped off, or maybe it's flipped.
I could look at it. I got the thing. I didn't chuck it yet.
I don't think it was, because that would have been a much subtle and interesting way to say, "Oh shit, that's Douglas's body."
No, they had to take out his wallet and be like, "Oh,
then just
it's Douglas."
The officer going, "Douglas Copeland. What's this?
Some sort of guy from out of town. Looks like a private detective. Well, he's dead now."
Yeah.
Hey everyone, this detective, Douglas Cartland, is dead.
Oh yeah,
Excuse
Cartland.
me, miss, what are you doing here? Get behind the tape.
Instead of just shouting out loud everything about him.
Oh, Shaw, what are you doing back here? You skedaddle, you young kid.
Oh, where did this jacket come from? Huh, it says Heather Mason standing right behind you on it. Well, I better look for this girl.
Girl, get out of here.
I don't know how they got there so fast. I attributed it to some sort of otherworld time warp, but I don't know.
Number 11. Whose blood was used to make that "Come to Silent Hill" note for Heather?
They just brought a Capri Sun thing filled with it.
Are they dead now? That was a lot of blood.
I don't know. It looked like a pint or two. I don't know. They could have just got a blood donor to freak him out.
They could just have blood with him. It wasn't Harry's because he didn't die. And was he hurt? He didn't look hurt.
Not that hurt.
So it was either theirs that they're just used to it, or some kind of blood paint. Maybe
they planned it and they just drained some dude's blood or maybe they all got together and it was everyone's blood.
Maybe it was Douglas's blood.
He was fresh, and Claudia did kill him. Well, Cenobite Claudia, apparently.
Well, if that is Claudia, then maybe that's what happened.
Mm-hmm. She just killed him for blood to write a note.
But can she leave Silent Hill? Because not everyone from the cult can leave Silent Hill.
But she was in the mall. The monster version of herself is in the mall.
She was in the mall, and she was also outside in the hotel, and she abducted Vincent.
But as the monster, but
right.
Does that mean she has that symbol somewhere on her body? Maybe she have that rad tattoo, probably.
Maybe. Or the other, or she's that's a question that comes up I have in this doc. It's just like, what the fuck is going on with her? Why can she teleport everywhere? Why is she like? I really don't know.
Why does she have roots? She dyes her hair in the other world. She was really blonde, but she had like black roots. It's like that doesn't happen. Got hair dye in the other world? It's really weird.
Well, I guess, they don't really have stores in Silent Hill anymore, so she's just running out of dye.
That's why she turns into a monster. She's very brutal about getting hair dye.
Number 12, when the cops bust into Sean Bean and Heather's place, they find that bloody note on the wall. One of them comments that they found their prime suspect or something like that. How does finding a bloody note on a wall mean Heather killed someone?
They didn't even know it was blood. It could have just been like someone painted the wall red. They didn't like test it or look at it any closer than 5 feet away with their teeny tiny flashlights. They were so small. And like, it's only 2 dudes coming into this place where there might be a murderer. What? And they didn't turn on any lights or attempt to turn on any lights. But that's a movie thing. No one ever turns on the lights. But I don't know. It was really weird and dumb.
Did they have their guns drawn?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They were ready to shoot someone.
Mm-hmm.
They just started shooting the wall. We found our prime suspect. It's this wall!
Pew, 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 pew. Why was it in Comic Sans? Why was it in Comic Sans? It's like the least threatening looking font in the world. Just like this dopey...
Was that Comic Sans?
It looked a lot like Comic Sans. It wasn't legitimately Comic Sans, but it looked so much like Comic Sans it made me double take. Even when I saw it in the trailer, I was like, is that Blood Note in Comic Sans?
It had too much of a clean and festive look to it.
Yeah, it was
to
clean.
be written by someone who wasn't crazy.
It looked like the font you use advertising an office Christmas party. But in blood this time. What the hell? They should have drawn it by hand in blood. Like, not real blood, but, stage blood. They just used red paint, and it was really neat and weird. It would have been so much quicker to just get some stage, hand person to just dip their hand in fake stage blood and write "Come to Silent Hill" in really messy writing that was made with someone's hands. Like, that's creepy.
It would have been more creepy. I mean, I don't know why. And it was thin, too, so it was like someone got like a fucking paintbrush and just went like, oh, I got this.
They delicately detailed this wall.
And it was really drippy. It was like every couple centimeters was drip, 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 drip.
But how could it have been drippy? It was so neat at the same time. It just looked so perfectly drawn on the wall.
The vast majority of this movie just reminds me of like a Halloween haunted house.
Mm. That's why I made such a good haunted house in Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
Number 13. What the hell happened with those 2 cops chasing down Heather? Why was that bloody note seen the last time we saw them?
I don't know. They're really bad cops. They didn't know she was friends with Vincent and took his car and slowly drove to a motel. And I don't know. Those are the same stupid cops that just announced the victim's name to a group of 30 people watching outside of a mall and escorted Heather, who just casually walked out of the mall covered with blood. Like, she probably had blood in her hair, on her face, or something. A lot of it got on her jacket, but I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I guess their story stopped there.
They're not
They didn't really
smart.
They didn't serve any more purpose. So they disappeared into the ether, or went back to get the prison bus with Murphy and drive or near Silent Hill.
I have an appointment to keep. I gotta go.
That's exactly what I thought.
Maybe they were gonna kill 2 birds with one stone. I was like, well, we need to go to Silent Hill anyway, and it's on the way to this prison that we're taking these people to. So let's just stop by.
Oh man. And it's weird
So
that they
time.
introduced the law exists in this world. Now forget about it. It's like, why bother telling us about just leave the cops out altogether? They don't matter at all. What the hell? I don't know.
Well, were the cops involved in the game? Because Douglas didn't die at the beginning. No one really died. There's no bodies found, right?
Harry's.
It was just that's right, Harry. But but the cops didn't find him. It was Heather just found him and then left.
No cops at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point they were like, well, there's no reason to bring him in the story. Sybil, the only cop character, is dead, burned to hell.
Right, and you'd think that, like, at least some cops around that area would be, like, freaking out that one of their own just disappeared.
I'm surprised they had the restraint not to have a relative of Officer Gucci's following her around in the first movie. They could have done worse. Or relatives of Sybil.
Gotta find my sister. Looking for my sister.
Man.
Number 14, where did Dahlia find her new clothes?
There were people in the town, like, looking out of the windows and shit. So there's got to be
people.
There's got to cult members.
I guess.
I mean, there's got to be some stores open that she can find some dirty old rags from.
I don't know. There was a lot of like dirty old rag stores.
She's completely irrelevant anyway. Like all she did was give some. She gave some plot to Heather and then left. Right? Like we never saw her again. Right?
That was you're right. I didn't even notice that, but she just like showed up and fucked off and didn't do anything.
Hi. Well, bye.
It was great because they released as a trailer, as sort of like a sneak peek. They showed that scene, and that's like literally the only scene with her in it. It's just like they showed it as a 45-second like clip, and
they really.
That's it.
It seems like they could only afford these actors for like one day.
Yeah,
like Carrie-Anne Moss, that's her name, right? From The Matrix.
Yeah,
Claudia?
She was Claudia. Yeah,
she only had like 8 minutes of screen time, maybe. Dahlia, whoever plays her, she was only in there for like a minute and a half tops.
Mm-hmm.
Friggin' Leonard guy, whose name Malcolm McDowell said.
Yeah,
he was only in there for 3-4 minutes or whatever. So they got like these three I guess Dahlia's kind of, I don't know who she is, but they got these other people that are like kind of big deals. I guess they spent all their money on Sean Bean being in half of the movie and Kit Harington, and then they had this tiny bit of leftover cash for the rest of the actors to be in like 10 minutes of film total for all of them.
Though if I remember correctly, Kit Harington agreed to do this and recorded this before Game of Thrones. So
so he was cheaper.
Yeah. Number 15, why was that girl Heather saved from the mannequin monster given a name when she dies immediately?
I don't even know why she was even in the movie at all.
What was her name in the movie?
I don't remember. It's funny because Heather turns to her and asks her what her name is, and then she says it, and then she like dies.
It's like, how'd you get here? Took a wrong turn.
Yeah.
All right. Silent Hill doesn't work that way, first of all, but you must have done something bad.
In the movie, it just seems to take anyone who took a wrong turn and she probably has some sad story that we'll never know about because she's dead as hell.
Right. And Sybil just got like teleported into there. So it's just like, what? Well, she didn't do anything.
Well, I guess that's true.
What was her name?
I don't know.
It doesn't even show up in the little wiki plot.
That's how little she mattered.
Well, I wondered if it was like a reference to something in the movie or whatever, but I guess
it must not have been, because I would have been enraged about it. Would have been like, Angela, what the fuck? Get out of this place.
You seem pretty upset on Twitter.
I think that was mostly near the end with the Murphy thing.
Yeah, that was the end.
That was really silly.
The end was awesome bad. That was like hilarious.
See, I told you this would be a better movie to rip than the first one.
I've seen better fan films for Silent Hill than
Seriously.
This is. Like, I've seen way better fan films than this.
Like, for Homecoming, I watched all those fucking fan films.
You had fan films in the Homecoming LP that were better than this whole movie was.
Right.
Dude, I skipped all those fan films.
They were hilarious.
Those are boring.
I loved them.
Yeah, I added the skip button specifically for you.
Thank you.
No problem. Number 16, what the hell did that mannequin monster have to do with anything?
It was cool, and there was boobies sometimes.
There was boobs, it was cool. I guess they just needed a quick mid-boss distraction.
It's like really weird because like they kind of threw monsters randomly into the mix, and like the guy with the tooth problem, that guy just showed up, tried to jump Heather, and then she just shot him, and that was the end of that guy.
Right.
And, like, I don't even know what happened with Leonard. Like, Leonard turned to a monster and then carried Heather away, and then we didn't see him again, right?
Was Leonard the Malcolm McDowell guy?
Yeah.
Who shoved the Metatron in his belly?
Yeah. No, he died, right?
He died, but it looked like he
just...
Is that what happened? Because he just turned to dust suddenly.
Oh, yeah.
He was a reference to Jenga. So someone pulled out his middle piece and he just fell apart.
Oh no.
I don't know why he turned to dust. I expect him to be more gory because the movie was like obsessed with gore,
Right.
more so than the first one was.
It
But
seemed
yeah,
to
like
be more
Leonard-
obsessed near the beginning.
Leonard
Yeah.
came and went. The guy with the tooth problem came and went. The spider thing came and went. It's like we can't spend more than like 2 minutes maybe on each of these weird monsters. They
Yeah,
just
there was
wanted to shove
homeless,
it in.
a homeless butthead guy.
Well, that was a
there-
Jacob's Ladder reference that was really artlessly done.
There was the old monster from Silent Hill 1. Not the game, but the movie. That was actually the lying figure. What do they call that? Armless guy? The armless
Yeah,
man?
the armless dude.
He was at the beginning, just completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, he never
and,
even came back. I forgot.
Right. And then they had the kids eating all the meat. And then they had...
Yeah, the Juggalo kids.
That was hilarious.
I
was
laughed
good.
so hard in the theater.
Juggalo animal kids just going nuts on those meats.
Who edited that and then watched it and then said, yes, this is good? Like, that was so objectively shitty. Like, I can't imagine a person watching this being like, yeah, that's exactly my artistic vision for this. This is going to scare people when they watch it. They're not going to laugh at all. It's not funny in the slightest. I don't see how anyone could find this funny.
And then the best part was after that, when all the kids stopped eating and Heather ran into that like kitchen, and the dude is just like, he's like filleting a dude
Oh my
on a
god.
hook. And it's just like, this is creepy, right?
I was like, I guess it is. It's gross.
That seemed to be the most gore I remember in the movie.
Yeah. Because
Right.
it was like, he was really slowly filleting that guy. He was really savoring that.
Maybe the arms being chopped off was kind of whatever, but it was super CG and very much a 3D,
Mhm.
pandering thing to be kind of like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great seeing that in theater because I felt bad for everyone watching because
Oh
that was like at the
God.
beginning of the movie. And they're like, what the hell is happening? Why?
And that was all you were gonna get,
That's not even
because the
like,
rest of
it's
the movie is just shoved in with plot and talking.
And it's not like the plot and talking even like made sense to make up for the crazy gore, or vice versa. The gore didn't make up for the really ridiculous and boring plot stuff. It's so poorly paced.
I remember. I think it was kind of oddly paced because they didn't trust anyone in their audience to have seen the first one.
Yeah,
Right.
clearly.
So they had to reiterate everything from the first one.
That's what,
tell everyone what happened.
That's what
et
the
cetera, et
director
cetera.
said at the panel. Someone asked him, like, "Will people who didn't watch the first movie know what's going on?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we had to do that and make sure that everybody knew what was happening." So there's some explanations there's some things that weren't solved in the first movie that I could explain in the second movie. Kind of ties it all up and all that.
Oh, good. That's good when everything ties all up and is explained.
But they fucked it up,
Yeah.
And they didn't explain the stuff that needed to be explained.
like everything.
Number 17, what the hell did that lobotomy monster have to do with anything?
Which one was that one? Was that the one with the tooth problem?
That was the one, yeah, I think that was as soon as Heather comes into the
Asylum. Yeah.
Oh, is it the one where she shoots in the hole in his head?
Yep.
That was the whole head monster.
I just noticed his teeth. The cam was bad. I didn't see that he had like a massive hole in his head. Besides, there was teeth in it. I was like, ugh.
Oh, yeah. Mine was also bad. I just said, ooh, he's got a hole in his head. And then she shoves her gun in it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, it's so nice.
Obvious weak point.
Mhm.
So video gamey. Number 18, why didn't Heather shoot Leonard when he stole the seal of Metatron from her? She had a gun pointed right at his head.
Well, like she wanted him to figure out what it was.
Right.
So
I think she was curious because maybe he was nice. Maybe.
he's Malcolm McDowell. I don't know.
But he was so obviously like trying to do something nefarious with it when he turned around from her and like yelled and then started jabbing it into his stomach.
She can only shoot monsters with dental problems. Obviously.
Oh,
or she was
God.
just starstruck because she was talking to Malcolm McDowell.
True.
I don't know. She dropped the gun on that one. Not literally, but sort of.
Number 19.
That's not the movie's fault. That's her fault.
That's her fault. How did the Order manage to herd a bunch of nurses into that operating room? And how did the nurses stay there in between shifts and dimensions?
I was gonna say before they showed it happening, because they showed the room filled with nurses, and I already knew what the scene was because it was one of the teaser scenes that they showed.
Right.
And they also reshowed it at Comic-Con too. So I got to see it all over again in 3D.
Whoa.
But so I knew Vincent was going to get wheeled in there, but I thought he was already in there. So I was like, I noticed that there was nurses like over every square foot of the room. And I was like, I was going to tweet that I was like imagining that they had to nicely ask them to move out of the way and then put them back into place, or just like pick them up like a mannequin, place them down, wheel Vincent in, leave him, put the nurses back into place, and then be like, okay, stay, and then just back out of the room and close the door.
Yeah, obviously the nurses aren't on their side because they killed the shit out of them.
Yeah.
You'd think that they would have some expertise in dealing with them. Like, it's as if their boss went like, oh, Vincent, put him in the nurse room. And the guys were like, wait, but we've never...
Not the nurse room.
We're not supposed to use that room, right? Why? There's nurses in it. I don't care. Your job is on the line. Put that guy in the nurse room. Then he's just
I'm in the nurse room or you're fired.
Okay, boss. Oh, jeez.
It's great because that's literally question 22. Like, why the hell? I don't understand.
Maybe they don't have other rooms. Maybe there's worse things in the other rooms. Maybe there's those mannequin spiders in the other rooms.
Were they going to leave him to the nurses, or were they going to, like, do something to Vincent?
I think they were just going to leave.
All he had to do was just stay quiet.
Right.
And then hope someone saved him. And eventually, he'd just starve to death. So you might as well throw him in an empty room.
I like Heather just showing up in that room.
I like that she peered over the edge like a cat.
Yeah, she's doing fine. Like she came to help him.
Actually, that's number 20. Why was Heather moving around like Solid Snake in the operating room, but when she gets close to Vincent, she starts making as much noise as humanly possible?
Because bad writing.
Oh, right.
Yep.
Number 21. Why did Heather and Vincent make so much noise when they were trying to get away from those nurses in the operating room? Didn't they know the order guys got killed because they made so much noise?
Maybe they're really stupid.
Number 22, we already did. Number 23, who the hell were those prisoners Red Pyramid was chopping up?
I have no idea who those people were. Maybe they were like cult people that wanted out and then got...
Or maybe there were people from the town who didn't want to join the cult.
That is something that was explored in Homecoming.
Were they all dudes?
Yeah.
They were all male.
Maybe that was the male ward of the prison.
Didn't at some point they say that Silent Hill used to be like a prison thingy?
Yeah, prison colony, yeah.
Yeah, prison colony.
Which is
I
canon.
think that was in the games, though. In the movie,
I think they said it's something in the movie.
Yeah,
they
mentioned that. Yeah, Heather mentioned it in the car scene. I think.
That makes sense.
There you go.
I think so.
There's the prison.
There you go.
But it doesn't explain why there's still so many people in the prison, because it started out as a penal colony.
I don't know.
It was still the other world, and they can do whatever they want there. Why were there all these bits and pieces of people in the floor? Were those mannequins or were those people?
Probably both.
Hmm.
No, I have no idea.
I couldn't tell if they were like white and shiny or if they were just people.
Probably people.
Number 24, why did Dark Alessa have a hugging contest with Heather?
So that was supposed to be Alessa. It was like a inverted color.
Yeah.
I have a better
Heather.
question. Why did she have a panda bear nose?
She was totally juggaloed out.
I don't know why that was a thing.
I don't know why this movie was a thing.
Black lipstick. Like, it's not even, like, the way the makeup was done, like, the lipstick was so perfect. It's just that she applied lipstick to herself. I thought maybe, like, they would want her mouth to look like an unnatural, like, dripping, oozing, like the black stuff is, like, her spit is black and it tinted her lips or something. No, it just looked like lipstick. It's like...
Oh, do you think that Alessa was supposed to be kind of like the mirror version from the game?
No, it's supposed to be memory of Alessa that you fought on the carousel in Silent Hill 3.
Wasn't it just like a weird bloody version of Heather?
Instead of hugging, you actually shot her.
Well, remember at the beginning of that scene, it was Dark Alessa in Sharon form, and then she like sort of did a weird video glitch, and then she turned into Heather with really bad makeup.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was the mirror. Well, the thing is that the mirror room in Silent Hill 3 was kind of foreshadowing the fight with memory of Alessa later on in the game on the carousel.
Yeah.
And just because like it takes place on a carousel and a girl who looks just like Heather is there, I assume that they're just trying to bring up the fight and not so much the mirror room itself.
Right.
That's my guess on it.
Well, yeah, probably. I like how they went and tried to do a mannequin room, but then just made it like, the crazy big mannequin spider monster. But they didn't even try with the mirror room, which was much better and much more memorable.
Oh yeah, so cool. And they love special effects, so like that would have been a really cool special effects thing to do. But I guess that room's kind of anticlimactic in the game. If you were to do it in a movie, because like all you do is you just decide. Like, you go for the door and it's locked, but after a certain amount of time, it opens and you just leave.
Yeah.
So I can see them not really liking that and wanting to skip it because they couldn't figure out a way to get Heather out of the room that was more exciting than just, oh, she opens the door and leaves. I mean, they could have Vincent come in and sweep her off her feet, so that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I could write a better movie.
They could have done something with that.
How did Vincent get captured by the cult at the, like, they didn't show that. Like, he totally, like, gave Heather, like, a kiss and then ran, which, by the way, is nasty because he's grown up in the other world and I'm positive they don't have toothbrushes there. But, like, so he just, like, pusses out and runs and lets her deal with all this other shit. So, like, did he run to, like, create a distraction? That's how he got caught? Or did I miss something? Or did he just run away and get caught?
He ran to be a distraction. In order to get Heather to the entrance to the Order's lair, I guess.
Okay, then I just missed it because I was shitty cam.
Vincent knew where Heather's dad was, and he was showing her where he was, but that was like the "I care about you" moment. Mm-hmm. So he had to do something to prove his love.
It didn't seem dramatic enough for him to, like, I would have thought, like, if he ran to go distract those dudes, there would have been a big extended scene of him being like, no, in slow motion getting beat by these guys. Just like when Sybil got beat the shit out of in Silent Hill 1, the movie.
Right.
So.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Ugh, nasty. Anyway.
Next question.
Number 26. Why was the entrance to the Order's lair beneath a merry-go-round? Wouldn't it make more sense to have it in a church, as they could ward off the darkness like in the first movie?
Because they're evil as fuck, and they need an evil lair, and they don't have any volcanoes in Silent Hill to build an evil lair in.
That was a good answer. Number 27. Was the entrance to the Order's lair meant specifically for Red Pyramid to control, and why did he need hooks in his nipples to control it?
I think I missed that part. Darn.
Silent Hill has a very unique form of electricity that is based on negative and positive nipples.
Maybe he's got, like, really good pec muscle control.
It's true.
The pecs were working those carousel, too. You just couldn't tell.
Maybe he built up a lot of static electricity wearing a shirt, and then he took it off, and then all of it built up in his nipples.
Well, maybe he acts as a lightning rod because he's got a big metal head, and he's been struck by lightning before, and then they go out to his cathode nipples and power the machines.
He's kind of kinky for, like, a guardian for a girl.
I know.
For a little girl.
It's, like,
he's
weird.
Too kinky for a guardian for a little girl. They should fire him.
Yeah. Like, little baby Alessa thought of that. It's like, dude, you're fucked up.
Jesus Christ. Number 28. What the hell was that? Fuck it. It was just a Voltiel fucking statue. Who knows what the fuck. Number 29.
It was somebody's, like, senior project or something in art school. They just kept it around because it was so
Not
cool.
done yet.
And Claudia was so proud of it.
Number 29. Why did we see so little of Claudia in this movie when she's the main antagonist?
Money.
Bad writing.
Both.
Number 30. Why didn't Claudia have Vincent killed when he gets captured for the second time? She had already sentenced him to die in that operating room with the nurses. Why does she suddenly want to keep him alive?
Well, did she sentence him to die, or was he just getting, like, tortured to get insane?
I don't know, man.
Because, like, she didn't kill Leonard. He's just getting tortured and lobotomized.
True, but there was a chance that he could die. I mean, we went in there and they were about to...
I'll have you know that those nurses are professionals and they know what they're doing.
Maybe if there was a chance, she was hoping that he would survive that chance or whatever, and she would want to keep her blood around, you know? Probably a motherly thing.
Maybe they wouldn't have attacked Vincent.
I like how we're trying to answer these questions seriously.
I'm trying. Just because it's funny. It's funny to try, you know.
Give the movie a little bit more credit.
It's just like Prometheus.
Exactly.
It's just like
Oh, that fucking movie.
I never saw it. I probably won't.
You shouldn't.
Good.
If you like Alien or Even if you like Alien Resurrection, which is a bad movie, don't see
I like
Prometheus.
Aliens.
Aliens is good.
Next one.
Okay.
Number 31. Why did Claudia want to take the seal of Metatron from Heather? What was she going to use it for?
She mentioned something about birthing the god, using her body to birth the god, and I was like, oh no, we're gonna do the prego puking scene. Whoa.
Hooray!
Maybe she was gonna shove it in her body like Leonard did.
I would have really been interested.
But she was already doing that in order to get turned into the monster, right?
I guess. But then Leonard exploded.
Yeah. What the hell?
Why did Heather know that the seal of Metatron would have that effect on her? On Claudia?
I don't think she knew exactly what would happen.
Because
she
she said, like, let's see your true form. Was that Alessa or was that Heather?
I think that was Heather, and she said that because of what the dude said before about it revealing the true nature of things.
Oh.
Yeah.
So Leonard is really a monster, but he wanted to be a monster so he could Hulk out of there. I don't know.
Fuck. I don't know what I don't care. Number 32.
Probably giving this movie way more credit than we should.
I'm just dissecting it fully. Just to understand the breadth of its ridiculousness and how unsolved all of its plot points are. Everything it does, it fucks itself. Like, it didn't have to bring up all these things, but it did, and then it didn't even resolve them properly so that it made any sort of sense.
Oh, Jesus. Number 32. How was Claudia turning into that buzzsaw head monster on a whim and transporting herself everywhere? She didn't have either half of the seal of Metatron, and even if she did, that wouldn't explain the teleportation.
Were they in the other world already when Heather came into the church? Or was that regular world?
I think it was the other world. Because there was no fog.
I thought maybe, like, Claudia turns into that when she's in the other world. But then Vincent was like, oh, I grew up here. So, I don't know.
Maybe grow up is a relative term to him. Maybe he was just created out of some kind of demon spawn. And maybe Claudia was a demon.
So how can he leave Silent Hill?
I don't know.
Maybe it's because of that cool tattoo.
I don't know. This is all dumb speculation.
Why don't they all get cool tattoos and leave?
Sean Bean saw at the beginning of the film that the seal of Metatron could be used to bring people out of Silent Hill's foggy dimension, so why didn't he ask Heather if he could use it to bring Rose back to reality at the end of the movie?
He's dumb.
He's dumb.
Number 34. Why did Heather let Sean Bean run off to find Rose by himself?
She's dumb.
She's dumb.
The whole reason she even went through all that bullshit in the movie
was to get him back.
Was to get Sean Bean back. And Heather just lets him wander off on his own immediately after saving him.
Oh my god.
Maybe she got sick of it. Maybe she's like, fuck this town. See ya, Dad.
Also, Rose is Heather's mom. You'd think that she'd be more persistent about helping find her.
Not her actual mom.
Yeah, that's true. Not biological, but...
A mother is God in the eyes of a child.
Yeah, man. I guess, whatever. I'm getting pissed off with this movie all over again. It's so nice.
I wish I could just watch the last 5 minutes on loop for like 20 minutes. Just soak it in.
Number 35. Why did Sean Bean let Heather run off with Vincent? He literally just met the guy and he thinks he's fit for his daughter.
He doesn't love his daughter. He doesn't want the hassle of being around Heather anymore. She's too much trouble than it's worth.
That's why he stayed in Silent Hill, to find the one person he does care about,
like,
his
you
wife.
know what? You just keep going. I'm staying here.
You seem to be doing fine on your own. Bye.
Are you sure, Dad?
You know what? Vincent, she's your problem now. Vincent gets to deal with your bullshit now. Get out of here, Heather. Go on, get.
I like that explanation. He's just sick of it. He wants to find the one person that matters.
Fuck it, go.
His accent is the only thing that matters. On his journey to find his accent.
Have you seen my accent?
Excuse me, have you seen my accent? I'm not sure what it is anymore. That's my Sean Bean impersonation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, I'm a voice actor.
Are you almost done with questions?
Yes.
Okay,
we are up to 36 and there are 37. Number 36. Why did this movie not only set up a prequel at the end, but also 2 sequels?
Because it hates us.
That's just dumb fan content for no good reason.
They don't know what good movies are, and they're just going to keep making them and hope that they break even.
That's a dumb wink at the fans. Like, you get that? Eh?
It was so winky. It was so winky that it was like alienating the entire normal audience because all these things happen at once and they were clearly not for the normal audience. They were winking at the fans.
It was as dumb as the Dark Knight Rises part where she's like, "You should use your real name, Robin."
Yeah,
You know,
Robin.
that part.
What a
And
pretty
then she
name.
just should have looked right at the camera and went, "Wink."
Winky
Get it?
wink.
It's actually very similar to the Prometheus father comment.
Father. Who cares? Get out of here.
And finally, number 37. Why hasn't Sean Bean died yet?
I don't know. I mean, just to set up Silent Hill 2, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought legit he was gonna die every time we saw him. I was like, oh, now he's gonna die. No, now he's gonna die. Do it,
Yeah.
die.
They legit want to just, if the movie, there's some places saying that it bombed, but I guess its budget for $20 million, it actually grossed a little bit more than that, about half more than that. So it's, if they ever do decide to do a third movie, which is not out of the question, then they want to set it up.
Sigh.
That's the only reason he didn't die.
I don't think I can tolerate another movie where Sean Bean can't speak English like an American. He's supposed to be playing an American.
I think I could.
I don't know, man. It's too much.
Especially if they're going to go for Silent Hill 2. That might be more interesting to
he's
be
going to
like,
change his name to James Sunderland for some other reason.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah.
Now, James Sunderland doesn't exist in this whole area.
Sean Bean is going to be the protagonist for every single Silent Hill game. He's going to be Henry Townsend. He's going to be Murphy somehow. They're going to remake this. He'll be Heather, and he'll be wearing a skirt.
You know, the funny thing about this, I'm actually at Box Office Mojo right now, and it says domestically, the movie made $17.5 million. But its foreign audience made double that, $30.4 million. So
on
apparently
you.
this movie makes more sense in another language.
I wonder if they changed it. Like, if they translated it to make more sense or took shit out or something.
Or maybe they just give less a shit over there.
Yeah, maybe they just
Maybe.
Hollywood movies are a big deal in other countries. 'cause
It's
that's
a fun movie with Nipple Man killing people.
What country does that man hail from?
I don't know. Eastern Europe, something. Boratistan. So, I mean, it's within the realm of possibility that a third one could happen. That's the only reason that they would set it up.
The
like
director said he wanted to do one based on Silent Hill 2 when he was at New York City Comic Con. So he said that.
He might get his little chance.
Oh man.
So I guess
He'll
And
get
on
to
that depressing note,
he'll get to ruin all those characters too. Angela will be some sort of like slut. I don't know.
they're only as ruined as you make them be.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's true.
It's all relative.
Like, I don't understand why people are complaining about this movie. It's like, if you went into this thinking that it was going to be good, I don't know what to say.
Especially because the first one came out and like everyone is pretty. I don't know. It's not a consensus or anything, but most people are like, yeah, it was pretty crap. So
Right.
like, you already have the first movie to judge if the second movie will be shit.
Not to mention, 3D is in the title. Like, no, it's not going to be good. I don't think any movie with 3D in the title has been good. I'd love to test that out and just go on a website and find out if there was one movie with 3D in the title that was good.
Recent 3D movies. I wonder how you can find that out.
Mm.
Does it count if it's a redone version of like an
No,
older movie?
no.
Okay,
Monsters Inc. 3D does not count.
that's what I was about to ask. Piranha 3D? That one was watchable to a degree, but it wasn't good. Oh, Jackass 3D. Jackass 3D was good.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Done.
Cinematic quality.
Damn it.
I win.
Jackass 3D is unparalleled.
You win this battle of wits.
Was Shrek in it? Oh.
I love how you go to Shrek.
Well, it lists Shrek on this thing of 3D movies, and I guess they did a re-release in 3D.
Oh. Hmm.
So Jackass 3D, I win.
You win.
See you later.
I don't know. I would argue that it would have to be a movie that has like a plot and a story and stuff.
No, he wins. I let him win that.
Okay. I'll allow him to win. Okay, so that was the podcast. Thank you so much to Casey Green for guesting with us. That was awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks for talking about the bad Silent Hill movie with us. But we also wanted to talk about The Great Debate a bit, since, I mean, this is the Great Debate podcast, allegedly.
So you guys haven't heard from us for a while, and there's a legitimate reason for that. We have actually been retooling and redrawing The Great Debate.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're doing a really good job on it.
Oh, shit, thanks.
No problem. And I think we're actually going to post some of the reworked imagery for TGD. So you go ahead and go over to Facebook if you aren't already there listening to this podcast, and check it out. It's facebook.com/The Great Debate.
Hope you like it.
I think we're also going to post it on our Twitter too. So go ahead and go to The Great Debate on Twitter and check that nonsense out.
So I guess we might as well reiterate the point of The Great Debate because it's been a while. So I mean, it's been like 2 months or something. So
too long.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a lot of work though. So we're still alive. We're still working on it. Still doing a ton of stuff. Still getting a ton of great music from Alex Rossetti, who has worked on Homestuck albums and stuff like that. And hopefully we'll be we're going to be giving him one of those at the end of the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So what is the point of the Great Debate, would you say?
I would say the point of the Great Debate is to sort of go through the theories that a lot of fans have posited over the years and figure out, which ones have merit, go through the evidence for them, and which ones don't necessarily have a grounding in video game reality.
If there is such a thing.
There is.
Allegedly. There's some flying spaghetti monster style theories out there. And it's I think the Great Debate is really about just saying here's the theories that are out there. It's okay to believe any of these things. Just as long as you're okay with other people believing other things. It's all right. It's fine. We're just friends here. We like the same stuff. We like the same stuff for totally different reasons. I think that's why Silent Hill series is kind of all over the place. I think every single game has been addressing things that were complained about in the previous game, but every new game that comes out, everyone's like, this is terrible or whatever. But there's a lot of people that like the new ones, so I don't know about that.
Including us.
Yeah. I don't there's some I don't like, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. There's some I don't like.
Yeah. I love Homecoming, and you can suck it. I don't care.
Hey, man.
Bob hates Homecoming. I love that shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and like you with Shattered Memories.
Oh, yeah. Me and Shattered Memories. Good times. I did a whole damn Let's Play about how much I hated that fucking game, but you know what? It's fine. People can like it if they want to. I mean, Whitney, that's her favorite game, isn't it? Isn't that Whitney's favorite, Shattered Memories?
I'm pretty sure. That and Tom's.
Mm-hmm. It's Tom's favorite. And look, I'm friends with both those people. It's great. Mm-hmm. They can like it as much as they want, and I can hate it as much as I want, but I'm not going to hate them for liking what I don't like.
Right.
That's pretty much what the fandom's kind of devolved into. It's stop liking what I don't like, which is a stupid reason to be fighting, because it's all opinions. Just calm down. Yeah, there's some theories that have more evidence than others, but does that affect you or the games at all? No. Even if there's an arcade game that came out, did that ruin the series? Did that ruin Silent Hill 1 and how good it is? People get worked up for weird reasons, and we think it's a shame, and it shouldn't really be happening. And I think it's honestly I think the fandom scares off new fans. If I approached this fandom now, I would do friggin' 180, keep walking. No, this is crazy people.
I don't think anyone would blame you. But yeah, I mean, there are even people, I know Whitney was very happy with Revelations 3D. So, we're not going out of our way to say that, oh, you're wrong, Whitney. You're a jerk. You're ruining the Silent Hill series.
You're what's wrong with everything somehow. She can like it. I don't care. I liked it in a B movie, How Can You Do This? Who thought this was okay way? Because I like crap like that. I like bad things. like Homecoming. It's pretty bad.
Right.
But you can't police someone's enjoyment of something, basically.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, stop fun policing people. It's silly, and nobody's benefiting from being fun policed. No one wants to be told, stop liking what you like, or anything like that. It's just unnecessary garbage that we don't need as a fandom. And I think part of the reason that everyone's going crazy on each other is not only because, like, some of the games, like, the recent ones have been considered pretty shitty to some and pretty awesome to others, but also because of all the lots and lots of theories from the original 4 games that got continued in the newest 4 games, not counting the arcade. But I don't know. So we're gonna present the pros and cons to certain theories, present the evidence for both sides, present misconceptions about the other side, like, you know, these people believe this about that. And it's like, no, they actually don't believe that, and you're scarecrow argumenting them because they don't actually believe that this is how, like, the multiple dimension theory works or something like that. I don't know if there's a consensus on how that works. Some people just believe what they want, and it's all right.
Right.
Makes things interesting.
It's not explained in the games. I mean, so you can make any argument you want, really.
Mm-hmm. I think the wonderful thing about Silent Hill fandom is that you can believe whatever you want. It's a lot of, like, I don't know, it's a lot of interpretation. Like, some people have said that, like, it's not up to interpretation. There's certain things that happen and certain things that don't happen. And, like, yeah, but that argument only goes so far. Like, there's no evidence that a unicorn comes by and steals all the people from Silent Hill, and that's why there's no people in the town. Like, yeah, that's, you know, crazy bananas nonsense.
Though that would rule.
Yeah, way better game as a result.
Mm-hmm.
Unicorn-based minigames.
Tom, unicorn ending.
He's doing it right now. I know. I think, like, the wonderful thing about being in the fandom and being involved with the series is that so much of it is up to you to decide what you believe or not, and then discuss it and discuss the merits of why do you believe that? Why do you think this is the case? Why do you think Angela was in town to kill her parents instead of find her parents, or you know, vice versa? You know, you can still discuss things about being crazy on each other.
So what Great Debate is going to do is take these arguments and put them in a nice video format and sort of give you, the fans, a way of communicating these ideas without having to worry about anyone jumping down your throat.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, really, don't.
No throat jumping,
Can't stress
please.
that enough.
I prefer my throat not to be jumped down. Or anybody's.
We should note, though, that there are things that we're going to talk about in Great Debate that deal with the events surrounding the series, like the HD collection, some of the stuff that went on with that.
There's a lot of misconceptions about that. So far as we can tell, there seems to be a lot of misinformation about what actually seemed to happen. And we're going to, I don't know, just present the stuff that we're finding out. It's actually really interesting stuff about the whole development process about it, the timeline of all these things that happened, the calamitous things that happened to this horrible, horrible game to make it so shitty. It's like undeniably broken, that game. But why? Like, what's the history of how this came to be? And it's super interesting stuff.
It really is. We've got a lot of really good information coming your way, and we also spend a little bit of time talking about the HD voices fiasco, the new voices.
We're hoping to get some interviews out of that. We'll see who responds, who doesn't. I don't know. We'll find out. We'd also like to mention, because there seems to be a lot of confusion about what the Great Debate's going to be about, it's not going to be about Twin Perfect anymore. When we first started out, we were just angry nerd ragers, just really pissed off at these people. And, like, that's, I don't know, it's just not the right way to go about this, because the fandom is already like a cesspool of rage. And so getting more angry at angry people is not going to solve anything. It's about the theories, not about Twin Perfect. I mean, they brought up a lot of good points, and a lot of ones that weren't researched very well, or if at all, I'm not even quite sure. But we discovered a lot of things along the way. But one of the best things we discovered is that we were coming off like jerks, and we don't want that. We don't want to look mean. That's not going to help how mean the fandom already is to each other. We're just eating ourselves from the inside here. So that's not going to fix anything. So we decided we're just going to change the whole tack of it. That's not going to get anything productive done if we just go ahead and get angry. So please don't think that this is going to be about Twin Perfect, because that's just going to make things worse before it gets better, and it's not worth doing, and it's about theories and not about people. Like, I don't know.
There are no sides here. It's not the Great Debate versus Twin Perfect. It's just we exist at the same time. We are all Silent Hill fans. So let's all just get together and talk about this stuff.
Yeah, without screaming about this stuff. Don't scream at each other about this stuff. Talking, discussing, debating. Those are like, you can debate without screaming at each other and calling each other idiots and saying like you're just a fat loser or something like that, or fuck your mom and all that stuff. It's just rude. I'm done with it. I'm done with the drama of being rude to everybody. I'm past it. Let us all transcend into a higher plane of getting along, or I don't know. You don't have to like agree with everybody or something. You just have to not be friggin' crazy. God.
That would be good.
Jeez.
All right. So on that note, we'd like to thank you for listening to this podcast.
Yes, thank you.
And stay tuned for some sweet tunes from our musician, Alex Rossetti.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.